What's up everybody guys, welcome back to Miyama's tutorial. GSX Shadows is Unreal Engine plugin that lets you bring the real world into Unreal Engine. So here is the key features. So specialized for creating VFX, runtime shadow support, easy to use interface, even for beginners. GSX Shadows helps artists to create the stunning visuals by mixing the real world with the VFX. For Unreal Engine developers, it supports dynamic shadows, allowing for more immersive and exciting experience. Let's see how it works. First, let's make a UE project. So GSX Shadows support UE 5.5. So we're gonna make the project with the 5.5. So let's launch the project. Okay, so I'm gonna use a blank project. So Blueprint C++ doesn't matter. So I'm gonna call it GSX Shadows demo. Okay, let's create that. Okay, once you create it, let's close the editor. So next we download the plugin from the Miyamaru Patreon page only for Patreon each other or VIP member. Here's the step you purchase the GSX Shadows. Here is a link of the Patreon page and you can download it here. So I'm gonna click on it. So let's download it, and you can save it to wherever you want. So once you have the download GSX Shadows folder, let's extract all and into the download. Let's move to the plugins folder, but we don't have a plugin folder right now. Don't worry about it. So let's make the new folder, which is called plugins, and make sure the first P should be a capital, and then don't mistype. Okay, and let's bring it to inside of the plugins. So now you have a GSX Shadows here. So let's open the project. Okay, if you can't open the project, it might be a problem of the Visual Studio. So I'm gonna show you how I set up the Visual Studio. Okay, here we are, and I enable on this one and this one and this one. So this is for Unity, so you don't have to do that. And here's the individual component. So individual component. So it was like that. So I think the important thing is so here MSVC. So this is a version 14.36 to 17.6, and this is 14.38 to 17.8. Here's another one. So maybe it depends on which version you use for the Unreal Engine. So I paste the link how you set up the Visual Studio the below. So if you can't if you still have a problem, let's check it out. But at least I confirmed that it worked in my environment with this setup. Okay, so let's go to the plugins folder from here. So let's type the GSX. So you can see the GSX Shadows. It's already turned on. I love this logo. Yeah, that I designed for this plugin. Anyway, now we need a Gaussian Splatting file, which should have the .ply extension, but I guess you just want to see how GSX Shadows work. So don't worry about it. We've included a sample scans. So let's make a new level. So basic. So make sure I delete this one. Okay, so let's go to the plugins folder, and as you can see, GSX Shadows contents. If you can see the plugins folder, let's setting, and then make sure turn on the show plugins content. Okay, so inside of the GSX Shadows content folder, you'll find a blueprint. So let's dive into it. So and this one is a sample scene. So let's drag and drop here, and there you go. The sample scan is ready. So to test how shadows, runtime shadows work, let's import the third-person template for clarity. So here you can add, and from here add the feature or content pack, and then you can download the third person and add to the project. Once imported, let's change the game mode in the scene. But so let's go to the window. So here's the world setting. In the world settings, you can change the game mode override. So you can click on it. And you need to select the BP third person game mode. So now you can control the Unreal Engine character. So and then make sure this player spawn is over the this scene, because this scene has transparent blocking volume, so which is a floor. Okay, so let's play in the editor. So yeah, as you can see the shadow on the Gaussian Splatting. That's cool, isn't it? And if you change the rotation of a directional light, so you see the shadow is also casted by the directional light. This shadow is only supported for the directional light, not the spotlight, not the left right, not point light. So only for directional light. So it might this Gaussian splatting is a little bit small. So I'm gonna scale it up and change the position. Okay, so I'm gonna explain the shadow parameters here. So first one is shadow. So let's play on it. Okay, so now you get the shadow. So if you don't want to use the shadow, you can turn off. And if you turn off, like every parameter is turned off, because you can't use it. I love it this feature anyway. So and also you can change the shadow opacity. So if you type the 0.5, you can decrease the opacity of the shadow. The third one is the shadow color. So you can change the color of the shadow. Yeah, shadow should be a black, but if you want to use the the pink shadow, you can do it, but it's weird. But it's for your creativity, Last one is the shadow range. So let's add the cube. I'm gonna scale it up a little bit. 5. Okay, so let's play in the editor. So you can get the shadow of the cube as well. So if you want to get high resolution shadow, decrease the shadow range. So near value. So for example, see the 6000, and it's a little bit jaggy here. But if you use the 500, you can get more sharp shadow. However, they reduce the area where shadows are visible. So that's why we have also shadow range far. So now, this shadow from the player character use shadow range near, so 500. But the shadow of the cube is beyond the 500, like 500 centimeter. So this cube use this shadow range, so that it's a lower resolution. If the shadow beyond this shadow range far, the shadow will disappear. So I will show you what does that mean. So for example, I specify the 1500, and I'm gonna move away from the cube. So as you can see, the shadow getting disappear. But you can get the more higher resolution shadow for the far shadow. So you need to fine tune these values. So I just recommend not change this value. So because I tweaked the parameter a lot, and then I found this is a better parameter. Up to you. Okay, I'm gonna delete this. Okay, this plugin is for making the VFX. So it should have a sample effect, right? So of course, this has a sample effect. So let's click on this blueprint, and you can see the Gaussian Niagara system here. So what you can do is just swap the Niagara system to the NSGS base scan, and then click on again, and then look, and the scanning effect from the position of player, and then also little bit noise force for the Gaussian splatting. That's pretty cool. So, okay, have you ever wondered how cool it would be to mix the Gaussian splatting and point clouds? GX Shadows make it possible. So in the Gaussian splatting data section, you can find the point cloud section here. So you'll find the two rendering option, which is use mesh or use split. So for example, use the mesh is just square. So to be clear, I just show the point cloud. So this is a point cloud from the mesh. So what about split? So turn off the mesh and then turn on the split. The split is like that. And of course you can change the scale of this point cloud. So if you want me make it bigger, let's make it bigger this parameter and make it smaller. Also use mesh as well. Yeah, you can tweak around. So many VFX artists love combining Gaussian splatting with point clouds. So I've included a mixing the effect sample just for you. So change the Niagara system to another one. So first, Gaussian splat Niagara system should be a GS-based transition. And then a point cloud also NS point cloud, so PC-based transition. So let's play the game here. Look, wow, that's cool, isn't it? So it's a transition from the point cloud to Gaussian splatting. Alright, let's finally import your GS model. I just make the new level. Let's save this map. So you can capture Gaussian splatting file using the CBL tool like Luma AI, Polycam, Postshot, etc. For simplicity, I recommend use the Luma AI. So if you download it, let's go outside. So once you find the place you want to capture, open the app and click on the plus button so you can start the capturing. It will be better if you take several angles. One thing you should be careful is people surrounding you might think that you're a passionate tourist because you're taking too much pictures or videos. Don't worry about it, I've been there. When I was doing that, a man who's staying in the hotel on the right said to me, "Oh, welcome to Montreal." I was like, thank you, but I live here. Anyway, the tip for scanning is focusing what you want to make after. Don't care about anyone, just focus in the capturing. Once you finish the scanning, update the data, so you will get the queue. You might think this queue never end. I was thinking like that also, but it just takes a lot of time, around 2 hours to 6 hours. It might be a one day. Just be patient. So if the process finish, it's available in the Luma AI website. So let's go to the Luma AI website and then let's go down to the end. You can see the capture. Let's click on the capture and then let's click on the start it now on web for free. So you need to sign in. So I already signed in. So here's I captured. So this. And I'm gonna click on the download. And then what you need to download is this Gaussian splat. So let's click on that and download it. Once you download it, let's extract this file, this folder. So you will get the PLR file. To import it, simply just drag and drop to the content folder. So I'm gonna drag and drop to the GS folder that I made and drag and drop. So you will get this pop-up importing the GSX Shadows asset, and then they make the file for us. GSX Shadows will automatically generate all the necessary assets for you, so no need to waste the time creating the individual asset. For example, like the blueprint, so textures. So this is a Niagara asset you can modify after to make the VFX. And this is like a material you can use for the Gaussian splatting, also point cloud. So just like we did with the sample asset, so let's drag and drop the scene here. So this one. So let's move up a little bit and little bit scale it up because it's always is small. So to make the floor, we need to add the blocking volume. So from the volumes, you can search the blocking volumes here. So let's drag and drop here. So we need to make this, the floor. So I'm gonna place it here and I'm gonna change the scale. So let's change the scale tool and I'm gonna change the scale of the XY. A little bit move it up the player's mode and make sure one setting should be a third person game mode. And there you have it. Your GS model is ready to go. Also, you can change the effect that we did last time. So it work also this set as well. So you might be interested in creating the custom effect. So if you're curious about how to make your own effect with the GX Shadows, so I've got you covered. That's a topic for another video. It's too detailed to fit into this video. So be sure to check it out. So that's it. So big thanks to you all. It's because of you that I can create the tools like GX Shadows, SoftyDMX, and these YouTube videos. And I promise to keep you pushing forward with new projects. So if you're interested in joining the community, check out the link in the description. Do you have a question or request? Feel free to leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. So thanks for watching and then see you in the next video. Bye bye.